Hey, what's going on everybody? Gundam Flexing here. Today I'm going to give you a quick review on the just completed MSM-04G Juaggu Unicorn version. Now what you see on your screen is the completed kit in its entirety, meaning there are no additional pieces except for these two additional PC pieces here, number 6. And there are no additional weapon systems. You don't have the battle axes, you don't have long-range weapons like beams rifles or calibrated weapon rifles. Instead, you just have the weapon systems in his hands, his fingers are basically cannons, and he has beams in his chest. But before going to this kit, I want to go over the stickers and the decal sheet. Here is the sticker sheet. You have the mono eye, you have 2 vents, you have 8 cylindrical red pieces here that are combined to form the cylindrical piece in his chest, and you also have 6 gray stickers here that go on top of his knuckles. Now I only used one because I wanted to see how it would look like, what it looked like, and I don't really like it. It doesn't cover all the colors, so I'm going to strip it off and I most likely will just use a Gundam marker. Here is the decal sheet. Now this decal sheet gives you a lot of options. On the left side you have the Xeon emblem, and I only used one. You also have the Xeon logos, which I think is pretty cool. You have it in white, you have it in red, and you have it in gray, and they do come in pairs. You have other peripheries here. You also have the arrows that you see in most kits. You have the white arrows, the red arrows, the gray arrows. And of course you have the numbering system from 1 to 0. They do come in pairs. I've only used 7 and 5, which I place at the bottom of his feet. And what I also think is pretty cool is on the far right side you see the rank system right here, and I only used one of the rank systems, but this sheet offers you so much options that you could save it for later and use it on a different kit. Now looking into this kit, here is his trunk system. It is in separate pieces and they are connected by a single wire piece. Here is the end of the trunk where the stickers are, and it is quite flexible and it does hold its place regardless of what position you put him in. One thing you want to be careful when you build the trunk system is that when you wire it, it goes through the nose to his head, and from the inside to the outside it wraps around. You want to make sure when you wrap it around that it's tight, because if it's too loose, this nose piece, his trunk, is not going to hold its place, and his pieces here, the individual pieces, it's just too finicky and jittery, and it's just not going to hold its place. His head is not that mobile. It could only turn far left, far right. That's pretty much it due to the trunk system. The head is basically only a couple pieces. You have the bottom part of his shell, you have the top part of his shell, which is white, then you have the 2 additional parts that go on top, and then you also have the one at the very back with the gray piece, which is for his mono eye. And his mono eye, unlike the master grade Zaku's or any other type of Zaku, this one is stationary, it's completely immobile, so whenever you place it in, you probably want to cant it a little left or a little right, because if you put it too far in the center or dead center, it's going to be covered. Top of his head, I just put one red Xeon sticker. I didn't want to go crazy or too crazy with this kit with regards to the decals. I wanted to keep it simple, but I like to use the decals, so I just kept a few, and I mostly kept it on his right side. Now his arms, here they are, twist around like this. His shoulder joint is not connected by a ball piece. It's connected by one of these elongated pieces seen here. Let's looking at his arm. He doesn't have an elbow joint, so what that means is he can't bend too far. His hands, if you could call them that, are really just cannons, and they are very immobile. This is how far they could go, but they can twist in either direction. But you can't really twist these cannons out of a little bit like horizontal or vertical. It could just go up and down. And here is the gray sticker I was talking about. When you put it on, you could tell there's still colors that show through. The gray stickers don't cover it all the way, so I'm going to strip it and I'm going to use a Gundam marker. Putting this thing back on. No, actually, let's keep it off. On the right side, this is where I kept most of the decals. I put the Xeon emblem here, and I gave him a rank system here, put the arrows on front of his shoulders and back of his shoulders, and arrows on the cannon systems. This is the same thing. Now looking at the mobility, this is it. He could still raise his hand, it could still go all the way around, but again, he doesn't have an elbow, so he can't bend at two places. His body is just like that of the Acguy, right? He also has beams in his chest, and I placed the decal right here. Looking at his chest and his waist, it's basically a front part and a back part, but in between them is the skeletal system, or it's the gray pieces here that keeps the joints together. It also produces the end of the beams, so it sticks out of his chest. Now these red stickers, they're not very hard to put in. They do cave in on itself. So if you do happen to mess up when you put them in there, you could just use a hobby knife and just peel it out and then reapply it again. His backpack is also very simple. It's basically a front piece and a back piece, and you have two peripheral pieces, which is the handle and the thruster system here. We're looking at the thrusters, the three stack on top of each other. They are not individual. Instead, you take them out of the runners and they just come in three automatically. You just pop it in there and you pop the cover on right here. His legs, they're pretty interesting, right? Just like his elbows, he doesn't have any knees, so his legs are not too mobile. You can't really bend it too far. You can't really take a knee either, but you can go all the way around. It is mobile in its own sense if you wanted to pose him for a specific battle pose. The end of his feet, behind his feet, or his heels, he actually has the vent system here because he is an amphibious assault suit. The feet is only in several pieces. It's the side pieces here, the brown pieces. You get the bottom of the foot, you get the top of the foot, and then you get the cover right there. This kit is very straightforward, and out of all the MS series, or out of all the amphibious assault suits that Zeon has, I'd say so far this one is my favorite. It's very unique in design, and it is very powerful, as we've seen in Gundam Unicorn. A lot of options, a lot of posing options here. You could even make him sit down if you wanted to, which I've seen other people do. Part of the reason why I wanted to get it, because I wanted a suit that could sit down and just sort of look like he's having tea. There it is. Boom. But that's it for this review. If you have any questions or comments, just post them down in the section below and I'll get right to them. Again, thank you all for watching and keep your eyes out for the next video. Peace out, guys.